Hello and welcome. Today I am going to jump on and show you how I have created envelopes from an SVG file I have downloaded. I'll also be doing another video where I create envelopes from a Cricut Design Space file, and as soon as that's done, I'll pop a link in the description box below. These envelopes are suitable for the Cricut Explorer series and the Cricut Maker series or anything larger. If you have a Cricut Joy, I highly recommend getting yourself an envelope punch board. And if you're here because you purchased an Etsy SVG, thank you very much for your purchase. It means the world to me. So let's get started. I have got my envelope SVG file downloaded, and now I'm going to right click and extract all. Choose my folder that I want it to be extracted to and press extract. In Cricut Design Space version 9.30, I'm going to go in and press new project, and I'm going to press blank canvas. Press this arrow to close the toolbox on the left. I'm going to press the upload button, press upload image, choose the size of envelope that I'm going to make. Today I'm going to make an envelope for an R40 card, so I'm just going to drag and drop that into the upload section. It all looks correct, so I'm going to go ahead and press continue. Now here I can change the image name if I wish, add some tags that's going to help me find it later on. And once you're happy with all of that, you can go ahead and press the upload button. Again, I'm going to have to go ahead and press this arrow button to close the toolbar, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Now, it says here that my envelope square size has to be around about 23.6 centimeters, which that is correct enough. That's 0.4 of a millimeter difference. The difference is 0.015 of an inch difference, so very small. The way I can prove that my card will fit is I can go to shapes and grab any square, arrow back. Now go to my more tab and change my size and make this the size of the R40 card or whatever card that you're going to do. And I've just gone to check, and an R40 card is 12.1 centimeters wide and 16.8 centimeters tall. Same thing in inches. It really doesn't matter. Now from here, what I want to do now is rotate the card 45 degrees, and that will come up the correct angle. If it is the other way around and you've entered your measurements the other way, you just go negative 45 and it'll put it in the other direction. It makes very minimal difference. So I'll put it back to the correct way for us. And you just pop that over the top and you can see what your card will look like in the envelope. If you want to make it slightly smaller around your envelope, you can. That is completely up to you. The proportions have been done. That's the main part of the design in the SVG. So now I'm happy with that. I'm going to undo it though because I want to test it the original size. Yeah, that is how you prove it. So I'm going to move that out and now go to the important part. So here we've got a grouped SVG. It has two layers. One is the basic cut, and this rectangle in the middle here, if that cuts it out, in this SVG, I've made these two colors so that if you do accidentally not do these lines properly, you don't get a hole and 4 triangles. So what we do need to do is change this from a basic cut to a score line, and then we need to take our group and attach. So now that it'll end up on the one mat and your score lines will come together. If you have a Cricut Joy Extra, you will need to choose a foil tool. You don't need to add foil, you just need the tool to run a line over these 4 folds and then just rescore those lines manually, but you'll have the foil tool gives you guidelines, so you'll be able to get a perfect score the first time. Before I do this, I am going to press the cancel button and I'm just going to repeat this process for all the cards. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this for all the sizes, the R10, the R20, the R30 and the S40. I'm also going to go ahead and do the proof of that the card will fit by adding the extra shape and then hiding it. I'm just doing all of this in centimeters, but you of course can do this in inches too. So now I've added the extra envelopes to my file. I have made them all different colors so they come on different mats on purpose. So now we press continue. Now I need to choose my cardstock type, which is medium. I need to change my tool to the scoring stylus. This only applies if you have a Cricut Maker. And from here, I will switch cameras. Okay, so I've picked out 5 different sheets of cardstock. For the first one, I am going to trim down just because it's a prettier pattern. For the others, I'm using this dodgy batch of cardstock, so I'm not going to try and conserve. So I'm not going to worry, but for this one, I'm going to find where the hole is and make sure that I trim accordingly. So this here is 25 centimeters, just all the way over here. And I'm just going to go ahead and trim, making sure I've got my whole section here. And then do the same. Line it up to the 25 and trim it. So I'll slide it across and show you 25 there. So that is for my first one, and I will be repeating that process on my non-dodgy cardstock batch. So now I am going to choose to apply my cardstock to my mat on the top left corner of this mat, on the inches side this time. And which way do I want my score lines? On the plain side. So I'm just lining this up, and I am going to brayer my cardstock down. Now I'm going to go ahead and load my mat and load in my score tool. For my videos on how to do that, check the links out below. So now everything is loaded correctly. I'm going to go ahead and press the slashing C button. And now it's going to score first. If you're not finding your score line is deep enough, your other option is to add it on top of each other a few times and then attach all the layers together. Now it's swapping tools, and now we're going to cut. Now my SVGs are optimized for quick cutting. So you can see how smooth the machine is working, and that is by design of the SVG. Now I'm going to go ahead and press the Now to maximize the flatness of my material, I am going to put my cover back on my mat with the material on it. Flip it over. Now I'm also going to grab both layers. So I'm grabbing both the weeded part and my piece of cardstock, focusing on keeping my cardstock as flat as I can whilst curving my mat. Just don't curve your mat. I have snapped one. Now, because I started pulling this off, this will just weed straight off too. Now, my mat is also clean after being placed on my table, which is why I put my mat cover back on. And now we'll just organize ourselves. I will also organize the next one to start cutting. So my kids always steal my scoring styluses, so I'm just going to use this one here. Now, if you've used the foil tool, or if you have just used a scoring stylus, it is an idea to line these up and go over them if you are struggling. You can also just line it up with the 2 straight lines and just give it a quick run over. And you probably can tell it's just darkened it just a little bit, which is what we need. So I'm just going to repeat that. And if you didn't have a scoring stylus or tool, you can also just do this. Just line it up with your 2 straight edges. Now I need so I'm going to use this tool here. You can also use a bone folder. And I'm going to start with the bottom. And I'm going to start by gently finding those little score lines and bringing it in. And then you want to find the middle of your line and gently, with your scraping tool or bone folder,
Start from the middle so you don't get the cracking, okay? So that's how I've got my line nicely done. And you can see how this envelope is coming together very nicely. Now, if you've got one side with more imperfections than others, just make the bottom. Always make sure that when you glue anything to do with an envelope, that you don't glue the envelope together. Or you can simply just get a sticker that you can cut out from vinyl and stick it here to close it all, and that way you don't need to do a lot of gluing.
I'm just going to pop a card that I prepared earlier in to show you how it fits nicely into the envelopes. If you're interested in the card, I'll pop a link in the description below as well. But apart from that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for your purchases. If you liked the video today, like and subscribe. If you love my Etsy shop, make it a favorite. Thank you very much. Happy crafting.